I think there's a phenomena that many of us can relate to. It starts around February time when we take a peek at the calendar and we see when exactly does Pesach fall out. Is it March? Is it April? And then the anticipation starts to build. And then there's the havoc, and then there's all this frenzy. When am I going to start to clean, and how much, and where? And then when Purim comes, it reaches its peak, where now we have the countdown to a month. And the house is turned upside down. Our lives are turned upside down. All we're thinking about is cleaning and making sure everything is, and then taking out all our chametz and putting in all the shopping over and over again to the stores to buy things for Pesach. And everything is perfect as it can be for the night of Seder. And it's all worth it. It's a magical moment, the night of Seder, where we feel with the family sitting around us and everyone in their yontif clothes, and everyone is just feeling the specialness of this moment, that the last month, the last 2 months were worth all of our effort for this night, or outside Eretz Yisrael, the night of the Seder. But then here comes the question. After the Seder, what's next? What is our avoda during Chol HaMoed Pesach? What should we be thinking about? I understand we got out of Egypt on the night of Pesach. Wow, that's exciting. It was worth all the effort for the Seder experience. But then what is the week of Chol HaMoed all about? What am I supposed to be working on? Is it just about, going to great adventures and having a good time and going on Tiyulim with my family? Or is there a spiritual avoda that I should be working on? Now, obviously, the shiur today is not about inyanim of Chol HaMoed on a halachic level. That's not my area of specialty. We know we're supposed to wear Shabbos clothes all of Chol HaMoed, not to mevazah the moed, right? There are certain halachos about not doing laundry, not doing, certain housework. That's not our, having a suda, that's not our discussion for today. What is our spiritual avoda after the Seder? Before even Shvi Pesach, which would Hashem be a shiur in its own right of what the avoda of that day is about, what are we supposed to be working on during Chol HaMoed Pesach? So in order to approach an answer to this question, let's talk about a yesod in general of what Pesach is about to give us the parameters for which to begin our study. Rav Leff in Festivals of Life notes that every Jew declares that its essence, our will, is to do your will. Ritzonenu lasa ritzoncha. But what stops us? Shiur shebiyitza. It's the leaven in the dough and our subjugation to foreign powers. In essence, every Jewish soul recognizes God and knows that fulfilling His will is eternally beneficial. The essence of every Jew's soul yearns consistently to do Hashem's will. However, the Yetzer Hara, which is symbolized by the source Sheba, the leaven in the dough, the inner inclination to do evil, prevents us from heeding God's will. It superimposes other perceived desires and ideas that contradict Hashem's will, similar to the effect of the leavening in the dough. As leavening adds air to the dough as it ferments and rises, the Yetzer Hara infuses these ideas and desires into a pure soul and causes it to sin. And likewise, the idea of Shibud Malchios were deterred by outside forces, both physical, political, social, it's cultural, etc. In Mitzrayim, we encountered both factors. It was the manifestation of the evil inclination. We went down to the 49th level of defilement, as well as we were subjugated by the Egyptian dominion over us. What happened on the night of Pesach at exactly midnight on Tedvav Nisan? We were given the power and source to be freed potentially from both of these sources. V'otzeiti, I will take you out. V'yitzalti, I will save you. God took us out from the grip of our inner Yetzer Hara and saved us from the subjugation of the Egyptian. However, the completion of our release from Shibud Malchios did not occur until the 7th day of Pesach, when the Egyptians were drowned. And that's where we have the Ga'alti, where we've now been redeemed, where that Shibud Malchios has been taken away from us. But The Seir Shebeisa, the evil inclination, wasn't really taken away until V'lakachti, until Mamad Har Sinai, when we got the Torah. Because only one who has Torah is really freed on every level. One, the asterisk in number 2, only one totally involved in Torah is truly free. He's able to do what he really wants, which is to express his inner will to serve Hashem, and not the superimposed will of his evil inclination. Now here comes the key source in 3. The reason the total freedom from the leaven and the subjugation of Mitzrayim could not be completed on the night of the Exodus itself is because the Jewish people had fallen to the 49th level of impurity. And therefore, to prevent them from falling to the 50th level, they had to leave ahead of the appointed time, ahead of the 400 years, after serving only 210 years. The early departure is described by the Torah as bichipazon, as leaving in haste, which characterized the nature of the Exodus. Hence the bracket